Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to the third annual Forward Focus Conference. We're so happy to have you here today. Your support of this event, whether online, because we're recording today for the online event next Friday, or in person, it continues to provide community college librarians one of the only conference experiences tailored to our unique circumstances and challenges. And we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making the commitment to be here today, since we know tight travel budgets and professional development budgets are a reality for most of us. So thank you so much. As you're probably aware, our theme this year is the Digital Desk, Reimagining the Library in the Wake of Technology. We hope you'll find the presentations and discussions today reinvigorate you to tackle some of the challenges you face at your own library. Now, this year we're trying something new, and we're here at the North Campus in the beautifully remodeled Hickory Hall. We can give you more insight into what this facility used to be if you want to ask us informally later. And we hope you find this location comfortable and suited to your needs. It is gorgeous, and we'll be visiting Dogwood Hall for lunch this afternoon, which is the home of our culinary arts program, and I think you'll find that a lot of fun. So, now a few housekeeping things that we need to take care of regarding the location. If you weren't here yesterday, you may not know where the restrooms are located, but if you go back out into this main hallway, go straight down to where you see the exit sign for a different building. Hang a right before you get there, you'll run right into them. So that's also where two of our conference rooms for later today are located. So as I mentioned, we'll be in Dogwood Hall for the lunch, and there are signs that will guide you there, but it's a little bit of a maze out here, so we'll be gathering groups around 11:55 right by that door that I mentioned with the exit sign, to help guide a couple of groups over so that we don't lose anybody in the process. And then also, since we'll be coming back to lunch, or back from lunch to Hickory, if you want to leave your bags here in Hickory, we can do that. We'll lock them up in Hickory 108 and secure them so that you don't have to drag everything with you, okay? So we'll remind everybody of those things too later on in different sessions, but just wanted to make you aware of those from the beginning. Now, we do have a wonderful panel this morning, and they're going to be doing Reimagining the Library in the Wake of Technology. Unfortunately, Maria was unable to make it today, so we have Anne-Marie and Terra, and they will, I'm sure, blow you away. So, to start us off, we'll have Anne-Marie. She's the director of the Kishwaukee College Library and later of the Teaching and Learning Center. She earned her MLIS from UW-Milwaukee, is an active participant in NILROC, and serves as Learning Resources Commission representative to the Illinois Council of Community College Administrators. Her interests in technology, teaching, and management stem from her personal professional experiences as technology coordinator for a school district, a hand binding and used bookstore, and a college administrator. Terra Jacobson is the manager of library services at Moraine Valley Community College. Her current areas of interest are library management, staff development or engagement, and library spaces. She has worked in a variety of libraries but has a passion for the mission of community colleges. So please join me in welcoming our two panelists.
I'll be bringing my coffee with me this morning to keep myself from being as foggy as it is outside. When I began to think about participating in this panel, thinking about re-imaging the library, it certainly became obvious to me that when we talk about re-imaging the library because of technology, that we are talking about the shift we have been talking about for eons from the concept of librarian as gatekeeper and storehouse to whatever it is we're becoming next. The knowledge, information used to be scarce. Libraries were a very precious and rare thing. Books were sacred objects. But that's not really the way it is anymore, and hasn't been for quite some time. We are not the gatekeepers. A library isn't a storehouse. Unfortunately, right now, people are experiencing the information overload. Information is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Your NPR feed is on your Facebook. It's everywhere. You cannot avoid being inundated with the million-page brochure that is the internet. It's only this deep, but it's everywhere all the time. And the technology changes. There's not a single one of us that doesn't have difficulty keeping up. We try our best to keep current, but there's always an app and an experience and something that we never heard of that a colleague tells us about, or our kids or grandkids tell us about. It is difficult to keep up. And goodness knows, like I said, there is an app for everything. There's a new thing. As soon as you get yourself used to something, that's no longer the hip thing. We all finally have our Facebook accounts for our libraries, and all the kids are doing something else. Too many grandmas on Facebook for it to be cool anymore. It's hard to keep moving. It's hard to keep up. Creation, knowledge creation, has been digital for a long time. You create it in your word processing document. You put together a Prezi, you put together a PowerPoint. All the students today are creating their knowledge, are creating their things digitally. And the expectations are that the information needed to do that will be provided digitally, which sometimes is why they go type EBSCOhost in the Google search box. They think it should be right there on the internet in the million-page brochure for them to find right in the top 3 results list. So how are we working to reimage our libraries? We're more than just books. We're on the internet. We're doing all this stuff. But there's a lot of things that I know we're all doing to try to get to that. And we all know that many of our students seem to view the library as their last hope, their last step. I couldn't find it, so I came to you. I searched Google. I tried to do this. I couldn't find it, so now I'll go to the library. It's the last hope. So what do we do about this? Are we imaging ourselves as like research command centers? Are we the people, yes, you couldn't find it, come help, let us help you find it, we got the skills. Are we the information literacy ninjas? Are we the people who are the help and support and customer service driven attitude that IT usually isn't? to help the students figure out what is best for them to use and how to use it? Are we reimaging ourselves as those collaborative media spaces and places for students to do that kind of work? Are we empowering them with knowledge? Are we embedding ourselves in their classes? Are we being student success coaches? There's a million little ways that we are trying to get at that audience, to help them think about information and to make good choices for themselves on how to use the technology that they expect wisely in their research. At Kishwaukee College, we started emphasizing that student success piece for reasons that I'm sure you all understand. Student success is a big national state push. It plays well. It gets attention. It gets administrative support just by the word. So we've branded some things as, we are the student success coaches for research. We've gone so far, starting last year, to be research coaches. We even have small little videos that say, drop us and give us 20 sources. we had a lot of fun with it, with t-shirts and hats, and drop-in workshops on how to help them pick the right sources and pick the right tools for what they know they need to do. This year, we started expanding that a little more. We know that the library is like their last ditch hope to get what they need. They're trying to do this on their phones, for goodness sake. they're doing their research on their smartphone. So we started to do more outreach about, okay, bring your device, we'll show you how to get library databases, library information, and good research tools from the device you have. So we did some bring your own device sessions, and this is some students trying on a Google Glass we were able to have the IT director bring to us. So we had some bang for our buck in addition to showing other more humdrum devices like an iPhone. We did digital petting zoos so people could come in and see what it looks like. And again, we hammered home, we have books. Look, we have books about how to use your iPad and how to do online research. Just again, to try to find any way we could to get to them, to show them and help them understand that if they expect good quality research digitally from their phone, there is a way to do that through library resources and get better results. We've also done sessions where we talk to them about apps or things they might use to help their research. And again, from the digital perspective, this was one of our librarians doing a talk on Evernote. And I'm sure all of you have ebooks, and I'm sure all of you have the same experience that we do at Kishwaukee College, that it is still the Wild West. There's no single platform, there's no single app, there's no single access model, there's no single pricing plan model. It's all different all the time for us, and it's even worse for the students. It's an extra log on, it's an extra step, it's another leap, it's another app. And honestly, in their mind, just like in ours, sometimes you just think, I don't have time to figure this out. Well, if you don't have time to figure it out, how do you expect them to use the resources? So we have created some posters, very simple, paper posters. We put these things everywhere, just to try to get students' attention, even while they're in the bathroom. That there are ebooks, that they come in different formats, that they're good for different things, that there's a wise choice to make there. And again, we've done success workshops. How do you use these on your iPhone? How do you use these on your Kindle Fire? How do you get to these? We'll show you how. And they respond very well. We also circulate these items. Certainly there are, despite the insistence that our students of traditional age are digital natives, that doesn't mean they have this technology. So we do circulate a few Kindles. And the posters we placed all over campus, like this one, no dollars for a tablet, want one. You wouldn't believe the difference in circulation that happened like that. We also started doing limited roving reference. Again, we know these students are out in the cafeteria on their iPhones trying to do their research. So we started walking out with a little poster and those research coach costumes from time to time to say, okay, well, I'm sitting in the fire pit now. If you want to ask me a question, if you're doing research, come on over, we'll show you how to do it. So we've started to do this in the cafeteria, in the Learning Skills Center, in the fire pits, any place that we see groups of students gathered. And again, like I said, we have postered this campus unbelievably. Students apparently are willing to read if it's bright and takes 30 seconds. So, we have put some information literacy kind of posters on campus and for students to see, to help them understand what it is we do. So I guess Kishwaukee College's response to reimaging the library in the wake of technology has been to try to emphasize and be proactive and actually in some cases in the student's face about these are the tools you have the choice to use. These are how you can do it from the place you want to do it and get better results. And lately, we have learned that students who actually check out a book from the library are 12% more likely to complete their course. So we've been also telling them that and say, fake it till you make it. Even if you're not sure why you should use the library yet. Come on down. Mimic the habits until you figure it out. I'll turn it over to
Before we turn it over, I'm just going to make a quick announcement. You have cards in front of you that say ask our presenters a question. So if you have a question for Anne-Marie and you want to jot it down on the card, we'll open up to questions at the end of the panel.
I'm sorry, I actually did have a few more slides. I thought I was done. I'm so sorry. I wanted to say another thing we do. Kishwaukee College has a portal so that students have to be students to get their credentials to log into the portal. And we've placed a lot of the stuff that we've done out and about on the campus also in the portal, so that when they log on, they see that they have research help and frequently asked questions and videos on the right way to use Wikipedia, and they see that they have, the LibGuide kind of concept, that we have topical course guides, helpful resource guides to get you started. You're welcome, and Pinterest pieces, and they're not just books or a list of materials we have. Sometimes they're also those graphic posters like I showed you before, so that we do have a lot on college prep and college life and how to adjust to the college experience. And while there are many books that we have in the library that we promote through there, it's also some quick 30-second tips. And we've also, through the portal, started focusing on help to faculty. We know that all the faculty feel pressed to get their content into the course as it is, and to give up 50 minutes or sometimes even 15 minutes to a librarian is sometimes, ooh, but I really need to go over that concept again because they're just not getting it. So we started offering the faculty some flipped classroom kind of experiences. We've made all these instructional videos, and we've also created the questions, discussion points, essays, assignments that those faculty could assign to those videos. So even if they don't have time in class to do this, they can assign a video and have an assignment due when they come back in class to get that content in. Because the faculty do and are receptive to the fact that they know their students need critical thinking skills about information and information literacy skills. So we've had some pretty good luck getting them to do it outside of the classroom by providing this kind of flipped experience. So that was supposed to be my last questions of the day.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Well, I said that, but I just want to say also thank you to Jessica, who's been communicating like crazy via email, and Kate for setting this up for us today, and to ICC, everybody, thank you so much. It's wonderful to have a conference that's focused on us. So it's great. I said last year I was here, and I think I was telling people, even at ALA, that this was probably the best conference I went to last year, because you got time to spend with people that understand what you're going through. So I hope you guys enjoyed today as much as I did last year, just to start. So I'm Terra Jacobson. I'm a fast talker, so I'm going to try to not talk so fast, because when I get excited and when I'm having a good time, I really go. So just a fair warning for you guys a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit slower for you. But I was really thinking about this theme for today, in the wake of technology, right? We really are in this wake. We're behind. We're always trying to catch up, and we're following technology the best we can. I would love to be the person that says, I created it, and I'm not in the wake of technology. I'm pushing it forward. But, we're catching up, and as libraries, that's a really hard thing to do. So I really like today's theme. So today I want to talk about what we're doing at Moraine Valley, and what some things we've been working on at Moraine Valley Community College, and how we're looking at our library, looking at how our library is moving forward, and how we think about technology. So think about, how do you feel about technology and what you offer your students in your library? Do you guys feel good about it? You feel like you're on it? And I see all these no's. I never feel like I'm on it. Like I feel like I'm always trying to catch up. Yesterday I was like, darn it, I gotta learn all this new stuff again after our kind of walkthrough with the technology petting zoo. And I think that a lot of people feel that way. You know, we don't know enough. It's really hard to keep up. It's hard to keep the actual equipment and keep that up to date. We all have terrible budgets. Okay, if you don't have a terrible budget, you have to leave. But we have terrible budgets. It's very hard to get there. And we have these skills gaps. We have skills gaps in our staff, in our librarians that we have in our buildings. And everyone's willing to learn, but it's hard to catch up once you've been, you know, kind of behind for a while. And we have skills gaps with our students, right? Digital natives, some that don't know anything but Facebook. And then we also have, you know, returning students in our institutions. We have so many more non-traditional age students that we have to keep up with and get them up to speed as well as ourselves. So thinking about technology, what are we doing? What are we changing? So we kind of created a new vision at Moraine Valley, and it's pushing us forward for technology. This is the vision. You guys know Troy Swanson. If you don't, you should be following him on Twitter. He's really cool. He's my department chair for our library. And he and I work together closely to kind of push our library forward and what we want to do. And this is what we've come up with. We envision a library that is not just a purchaser of content, but also a producer of content that is created by our students, faculty, and staff. And I know I've been hearing as yesterday, people are talking about, okay, we're creating content now. This is our role. This is what libraries are doing. This is what technology is now for us. And how are we going to do this? Like, how are we going to accommodate this in our library? So I'm going to show you guys what we're doing, what we're planning on doing, and how it's really become part of our everyday life, right? Technology isn't a thing that I feel like, oh, technology is a separate thing. I'm not good at technology. You better get good at technology. That's just life now. And, you know, it's going to become invisible to us. It's going to be part of our everyday. And for a lot of our students, it is invisible. You say technology, like, well, that's just what I do. I just use Snapchat all day long to talk to people. I will not get a Snapchat account. I've been told I'm also too old to have a Snapchat account. So we have a changing mission, right? Our library has a direct teaching mission to students. So this is the kind of the mission we're looking at. We haven't changed our official mission, but this is kind of like a sub-mission for us and for our librarians and what we think about things. We have a direct teaching mission that we center on information literacy, but we're also providing support in ways that other departments cannot, right? So what are we doing otherwise that they cannot do? Well, we have these distinct collaborations and connections with faculty, multimedia, IT. We're a place that brings everybody together in one space. So we're supporting online learning, hybrid learning. We're doing it in more dynamic ways now, right? Your instructors are coming, they're creating their own content, they're creating their own videos to put online, or some of them want to and they can't, they don't know how yet. That's a role we're taking on. That's a role that's happening in our space. And coming back at it, students are going to be doing the same thing when they participate in hybrid classes, when they participate in online classes. They need to create content for their coursework as well. So we need a space that's more flexible, that is giving us a space for individuals and groups to get together, to collaborate, to be creative, right? And I think education's changing. I think people have heard these talks. We talked about it a little bit yesterday also on the TED Talks about changing education, changing how we look at education, and becoming a more, I was so excited yesterday when we started talking about it. I was like, oh, I'm talking about that tomorrow. How we're changing our students to be creative thinkers, right? Everyone wants a startup now. Who doesn't want to have a startup? Everyone is looking to do it. There's a podcast about building your own startup. But we need to have space where students can do this, where they can collaborate and work together, a homing zone for them on campus to build and work together. And really, it has a lot to do with, you know, how our technology is changing, right? It's the usability factor. Our devices are becoming easier to use. They're becoming more simplistic for the most part. There's still a lot of training to do, but it's more readily available, and human-computer interaction is not as difficult as it used to be in the past, right? So it's a big change for us, and it's a big change that we can accommodate, I think, in libraries. So we're changing our infrastructure. What's changing in our library? So we're providing access to channels of communication where students can connect to the community in a larger world, right? That's what we're doing now. We're educating students, staff, and faculty to use technology to kind of appropriate their approaches and create like positive issues and positive dialogues about issues. So we want students to use technology in our library space to have dialogues about issues on campus, issues in the community, issues in their lives, and we want to be a place that helps them do that. We want to expand the notion of information literacy from classroom-focused to community focus. That's another goal that we have in our library right now. And we want to incorporate digital literacy and meta literacy skills in that. So we're looking at really going outside, and our campus has been really embracing this democracy commitment. Is anyone doing the democracy commitment on their campus otherwise? Okay. It's really about service learning and connections to your community. And we had a big college learning day where we went out into the campus, or community learning day, where we went out all over our community and we volunteered for a day instead of having an in-service for Moraine Valley. And we're doing the same thing with our students. So the library hosts that. We host our volunteer fairs. We get involved, we do videos, we work together with the students and the faculty members and expand their knowledge of the community around them. And then we're also kind of acting as a platform for community dialogue by hosting and preserving content now and for future access. So I'm going to show you guys how we're doing that. But really, I know everyone's been hearing, if you're an information literacy librarian, I don't know how many of you are here, right? I'm not the information literacy librarian, but I have a bunch of amazing librarians that keep me well informed. This concept of digital literacy. And I think our students really have they have a tool set to use technology, but they don't understand how to use it. And I think that our role is going to change, but we have to provide the tools that they need to do that as well in our library spaces. So it's not just teaching them, how to know that a source is a good source, but changing the way that we approach it for them. And, there's just a new way of doing research. And I think that, I remember being in library school, people saying Wikipedia is a terrible thing to use. And in our library, we go, no, Wikipedia is great. And everyone's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, it's a great first place to start. You feel like an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, look it up, start there, and then move forward, right? Then go into the next place. It's not your source, you shouldn't be citing it in a paper, but it's an easy place where you feel comfortable getting familiar with the topic before you move on. And we have to teach students how to designate, like, is this source a reliable source because it's group sourced, people are doing it themselves, people are putting the content in there? Depends, right? Who's the source? Who's the person putting the content there? Is it cited? Are they there? It's just changing what information is being provided and how it's being provided. There's not a publisher or a clearinghouse anymore that our students can rely on to tell them that this is quality information. So we need to change our access to that. So we're redefining our role. Sorry, I've got a lot to say. I have to slow down for you guys. So what's our goal now? For Moraine Valley, we have decided that we are going to assist students in developing their own content. That is our role. That is the job that we should be doing on our campus. We want to make sure that we're helping them produce films, their problem podcasts, and also, which I keep pushing very heavily, some people are not as excited about it because it's just not as fun, classifying and making this content findable, right? Students are creating videos on YouTube, they're putting them out there, they're not tagging them, they're not putting anything in there to find them, they're like, why is no one finding my stuff? We can teach them that skill. You have catalogers. They may be hidden, some of them, right? in your basement